chair shots to the head, lingerie pillow fights, and calling people bitches. Those were the days. Just imagine if some of today's superstars had the luxury of being able to participate in adult-themed angles and ultra-violent matches. If a character like Roman Reigns could down a few shots and add some coarse language to his promos, he might finally become the main event star WWE so desperately wants him to be. With that in mind, I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, and these are 10 current wrestlers who would have had far more success in the Attitude Era. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to stay notified. Ding, ding, done. Number 10, Titus ONeil. Titus ONeil is one of the most intimidating looking men on the entire WWE roster. However, for whatever reason, he is currently being used as a comedy act. Had the leader of Titus Worldwide debuted during the Attitude Era, he might have been a good fit for the hardcore division. He'd develop a tough guy persona, as stars like Bradshaw did, and it would at least allow him to fully utilize his physical gifts and move away from bad comedy angles. Plus, Vince could have really punished him when he pushed him a few years back, eh? Number 9, Baron Corbin. Corbin's got something right now that a lot of other wrestlers are lacking, and that's a belly that looks like a face. No, sorry, wait. Believability. You get the feeling that his disdain for wrestling fans is genuine. In the Attitude Era, yanking an indie wrestler posing as a fan out of their seat and beating them to a bloody pulp wouldn't have been out of the question. Furthermore, back then, hitting one of the top female stars with his finisher, an act that, like undermining Stephanie if you're a male wrestler, is a huge no-no in today's WWE, would help make him the kind of heel that makes grandmas throw their remotes at the telly. Number 8, Bray Wyatt. He's had success, but when the company tries to make his character extra creepy, they fail miserably. What the f*** was this? Or this? And don't get me started on this. During the Attitude Era, Wyatt could have been involved in some edgier storylines, which would have allowed him to enhance his eerie persona. A stalker angle, similar to the one involving The Undertaker and Steph back in the day, would have worked well. And who doesn't want to see human sacrifices in their wrestling, eh, lads? 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 Number 7, Rosemary. As the demon assassin, Impact Wrestling's Rosemary has established herself as one of the company's top female performers. But back in the late 90s, she'd have been a perfect fit in the Brood. Rosemary has already had some success portraying a demonic character, so transitioning to a vampire would be right up her weird street. Which coincidentally is where Jules lives. Number 6, Eli Drake. Eli Drake is doing some amazing work on the mic these days on Impact. Unfortunately, aside from my best friend Austin Aries, there aren't a lot of great talkers there to help bring out the very best in him. That certainly wouldn't have been an issue during the Attitude Era. Stone Cold, The Rock,
Chris Jericho, Mick Foley, Mr. McMahon, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kurt Angle.
Even Road Dogg would be better than most of the talent he has to work with at present. Number 5, Fandango. Fandango's outfits and gyrations have always given him an adult film star vibe, or maybe that's just me. If he embraced this persona, the former ballroom dancer would have oiled himself up and slipped into the Attitude Era with no friction whatsoever. His comedy shtick with Tyler Breeze is still entertaining nowadays, but just imagine if he teamed up with a pre-choppy PP Val Venus. Admit it, you'd watch it. Number 4, Mandy Rose. You may not have noticed this, but Mandy Rose is a very attractive young woman, as well as being a decent wrestler. In the Attitude Era, a female wrestler's physical appearance was far higher on the attribute list for WWE than, the ability to perform in the ring. It wouldn't have taken a creative genius to make Mandy Rose a star in the Attitude Era. Vince Russo would have stuck her in a bikini contest or two, a mud wrestling match, and a segment where she had to flirt with Vince, of course. Sadly, that would have made Rose much more popular than she is in 2018. Number 3, Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose is in a pretty tough spot. Having to portray a lunatic in an era where the craziest thing you can do is have a potted plant is a tall task. Back then, the former Shield member would have had more success playing a character similar to the one Brian Pillman portrayed. It wouldn't be hard to imagine a disheveled Ambrose, gun in hand, waiting for Steve Austin to show up at his doorstep. As Pillman did, the mad bastard. Those are the sort of angles needed for Ambrose to establish himself as a true lunatic, and they aren't happening in today's WWE. He's a man who's in the right place, just at the wrong time. Number 2, No Way Jose. What I'd give to be a part of that conga. Anyway, not every wrestler is destined to be a main event act, and Jose doesn't look poised to be headlining pay-per-views anytime soon. That being said, if he happened to arrive on the scene during the Attitude Era, he would have been a lot better off. Adding a few scantily clad women, the solution to most problems in the 90s, to his conga line and a touch of sleaze to the character, and he'd be set in the WWE. Number 1, Joey Ryan. When you enter the ring looking like a 70s porn star and your signature move involves flipping an opponent with your dick, yeah, there's a good chance you'd have found success in the Attitude Era. Furthermore, stunts like pulling a lollipop from one's trunks to give to a spectator and lathering up during a match would have blended in nicely with the television product WWE was producing in the late 90s. Unfortunately, Ryan's antics and edgy persona wouldn't work at all with the family-friendly product WWE is promoting these days. Cover your eyes, children. Despite being one of the most entertaining characters in all of wrestling, Ryan has little chance of ever being signed by wrestling's top promotion without watering down his persona.
Oh, wasn't that something? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe below, and also the people who made this lovely video, they're appearing right here. But if you're thinking to yourself, I want to see more content, Jules, then why not look above my head, as there probably is some. I don't know. I can't see it. Until next time.